Our first blind item is about Jennifer Lopez, Diddy, and Ben Affleck. This is gonna get messy. It reads, the A-list everything in her mind celebrity tried to set up a photo where she would be busted half naked, making out with her actor-director ex. She wants the world talking about that instead of her association with the guy in jail. So it looks like, you know, this divorce might actually work in JLo's favor. I mean, people were first focused on her terrible documentary, her terrible movie, and then her downfall of a marriage. Right now, all of you guys are asking me about her connections to Diddy. So a scandalous photo with Ben could do some distracting, but really it's not gonna do much. I feel like all of us are getting smarter when it comes to deciphering the media, and we could see through it. This person commented, JLo, you silly girl, may the Lord never forget the gun residue. Another person commented, pretty sure Diddy was the straw that broke the camel's back as far as Ben was concerned. Everyone's referring to that shooting where JLo was involved with Diddy. They were together at a club in the late 90s. People were shot at, and it turns out that JLo has been accused of bringing the weapon into the club. Another person added, there's a blind that says that Diddy showed some videos of JLo at parties, and then I guess Ben was pretty much done then. Another person added that Ben Affleck was smart to get in front of this and jump off just in time. So let's talk about these messy pictures that JLo oh so wants scrubbed from the internet. Diddy party pics have resurfaced amid his recent arrest, and JLo is featured in a few. The singer who dated Diddy from 1999 through 2001 was photographed at his 4th of July party in the year 2000. The former couple were cuddled up on what appeared to be an oversized bed covered in white pillows in one of the throwback pictures. Oh god, and knowing what we know now, I can't imagine what happened here after the picture was taken. Also, look at that bad hair up there. That, like, it's flashing back so badly. That is some bad hair. But JLo, you do not go unnoticed. I see you right here in the corner, right up next to Diddy. Now, I don't know if they were told to give a serious look here because, oh gosh, I mean, or they're on some crazy drugs, because look at JLo's face. Could we do a zoom in on JLo's face? Because what is she on? I'll take a couple. I'm just kidding. I don't want any of that. Also, speaking of, is that Jay-Z back there? I don't know if it is, but I am ready to talk about his connection to Diddy. In so many of these photos, you can see really powerful people like Jay-Z, Aaliyah, and many more. But I do want to remind you guys that Diddy and JLo had a very public relationship. JLo was pursuing acting throughout their relationship, and in one project, she had a kissing scene in which Diddy publicly shamed. He did not want her kissing anyone else, which is rich coming from someone like him.
Nothing, you're here. Being angry at each other very much.
What y'all shooting today?
The last scene.
Oh, that's hot. What's this the last scene consist of? Of what? There ain't no kissing going on, right?
Yeah, he has a problem with stuff like that.
Part of the reason why JLo and Diddy didn't work out was because JLo was so established that he wasn't able to take full control over her career, which I think is a red flag right here. Like, he wants to take control of her acting career, but she already has things set in measure.
There better not be no kissing going on.
Not like a kiss like with tongue.
Nah.
It's not like a kiss, it's like a last moment in a thing. It's not like a kiss. I think it's silly, you know, kissing scenes, because I'm an actor and I know that this doesn't mean anything, and you don't care.
I do think there's some truth to that, because people aren't just kissing. There's like a director yelling at them most of the time, a bunch of cameras and lights in their faces, so it's not something that feels emotional. Diddy's parties are making headlines now that he's been arrested by federal agents and charged with racketeering, trafficking, coercion, transportation of people to do things that they don't want to do. Diddy has pled not guilty, and he's currently being held in Brooklyn, New York. What do you think he's doing at this moment? I mean, I saw a report that he's refusing to eat the food under the pretense that he thinks that someone there is going to poison him. So will he just go and starve to death? I don't know. There are so many celebrities who are tied to Diddy: Leonardo DiCaprio, Sarah Jessica Parker, and so many stars who have been at his events. We just talked about the Kardashians' connection to Diddy, and I want to revisit that clip to remind you guys that Khloe was out here with a 20-year-old Justin Bieber, and everyone was just naked. I just know Kris Jenner is fuming right now that that moment made the final cut, because they are so implicated.
So who was with you this weekend?
A bunch of my friends.
Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber,
So far,
French
so good.
Montana.
I don't even know half.
Also, the way that she's like, a bunch of my friends. Like, are you really friends with these people? It's giving so phony LA Hollywood lifestyle. I mean, French Montana and her dated, so I could see him bringing her along.
Half the people you're dating. No.
She didn't go to bed.
I haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't? I want to be Clay when I grow up, Court.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. for this party.
Also, like, getting on a plane for what? Is the plane on the? Is the party on the plane, or did she fly out somewhere to go to this party? Did she fly with Justin Bieber? I mean, I have so many questions.
I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
While JLo has been silent about everything, there's this old clip from Wendy Williams, which sending good vibes to Wendy. But in this clip, she's asking her about Diddy and their relationship and if JLo would want to get back with her. And you'll see JLo's mom was actually there, and she's definitely opposed to the idea. It makes you wonder what her mother knows about their relationship.
If you recall, the last time that you were here,
Yes.
I was telling you that I could always see you getting back with Puffy in a little way.
I mean, I feel like Wendy also knows what Diddy's up to, so don't recommend that.
I remember you said
Yes.
that.
Or in my mind.
Look at
Or in my mind.
Oh, is that her mom? Look at her mom's face. She is like, hell no.
Mind getting together permanently.
Yeah, well, first of all,
Pitbull.
right, Pitbull, it's crazy. Everybody came alive. They all had something to say.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion.
Yes, it's funny to me.
Now, I don't think JLo would be so silent about this if she wasn't involved in some of his crimes. And part of the reason why this rapper Shine was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a crime he did not commit. Natanya Rubin, one of the victims of Diddy's, who was at that club, who was shot at, said that she is celebrating Diddy's arrest. Before we get into our next blind item, I want to share with you guys that we've got a two-parter coming out today. So there are so many blind items going out and about Diddy that I thought, why don't we give you guys 2 episodes? So in a couple hours after this episode is posted, you guys can check the channel and look for more blind items. I know you guys enjoy this series, so a part 2 is just like so exciting for me. I know that you guys are going to enjoy it, and I enjoy making them. So make sure you tune in for part 2 for even more blind items. But let's make this one a little bit more Diddy focused. Getting into Kim Porter. Speaking of the producer wannabe rapper Diddy, despite reports to the contrary, there was a book being written by his former significant other who did not die of pneumonia. Essentially, there is a book from Kim Porter, and it may be out there. Could you imagine if we somehow found like a lockbox or like a clue that she left behind and it had so much evidence of what she had gone through? This person commented, I hope in that book she wrote about all the other people around him, especially those who died the same year. Remember, a lot of partners of his record label just ended up mysteriously dying. Doesn't seem so mysterious anymore. One person commented, I noticed that Amazon has a 59-page book called Kim's Lost Words for $24.99. I'm not sure I want to pay that much for such a small book. Another person reminded us in the comments, first autopsy, they said they found poison in her system. Second one, they said pneumonia. Let's talk a little bit about the possibility of this book. A new book accuses Diddy of assaulting his late girlfriend, taping himself having sex with a teenage pop star who and then parties with an Oscar winner and his wife. The book Kim's Lost Words claims to be a collection of diaries of Kim Porter, which who the hell would have leaked this? I mean, I feel like this would be major news, but it claims it's leaked by her friends. It describes Diddy's colorful life from the 90s through Kim Porter's final year, talking about him messing around with both male and female top musicians and rappers and having group things take place at his home, in which Kim Porter was a part of. Here's a clip of somebody breaking this down.
So apparently they saying they done leaked Kim Porter's book on Diddy, y'all. Because I'm like, I remember her saying she was going to release a book and nothing was ever released. Yeah, so somebody putting this up, I'm like, And it's like I started to read some of it. I was like, what is going on? And while he was male as trendsetter mate, what? Combs never one to miss words, is in love, he'll tell you in a magazine article, he'll tell you in person. Okay, what? And then it was like, okay, she's pregnant in these pictures. What is going on? They said this article is from 10 years ago. Okay, see, look. Y'all just bring it up. I don't think about Diddy at this point. Somebody said I was leaked when it was already public. As I remember her saying she had a book coming out and then she died. They said this is a feature story from 17, 18 years ago. Oh my gosh.
There's so much confusion surrounding this book. I do think there's a book that exists. I don't know if it's this one. The book was published on September 6th, just days before the rapper and Bad Boy Records founder was indicted. Interesting timing. Imagine if her friends knew that this was happening, so they planned it accordingly. The short memoir has disturbing alleged accounts of Diddy slapping Kim after losing his temper and even making death threats to her. Why am I not surprised? Kim recounts discovering and making copies of tapes Diddy made of himself having sex with young boys he was managing. Oh my gosh, including an alleged tape involving a 18-year-old pop star who went on to be a household name. Justin Bieber. Poor Justin Bieber. Oh, it makes me sick. It makes me actually like spinny. The final entry of the memoir has Kim falling fatally ill, dramatically texting her friends, "He got me," and then calling 911. The publisher, Chris Todd, claims that Kim shared a thumb drive of her writing with close friends, which he obtained and lightly edited into a book under the pseudonym Jamal T. Millwood. Okay, it's an interesting name. The book is being marked as printed in Las Vegas, September 7th, 2024. I guess the person who wrote this book has not offered any documentary evidence to prove its authenticity, but put hard copies up for sale on Amazon. So who knows if this is legit, but if it is, that's pretty crazy. And maybe he's just trying to get the word out there. He claims he is lucky enough to meet someone who had the Kim Porter flash drive. I know the celebrity source pretty well. I know how close they were to Kim and Diddy and all the people in the hip hop community. This was supposedly for Kim Porter from the grave to come forward and to tell her story. I actually have a deep dive on Kim Porter on my Let's Get Into It podcast channel, and I'm telling you, chef's kiss. Like, I usually don't say that about all my work, but that one is a spectacular piece. We have so much evidence against Diddy. I made it a couple months ago, but go ahead and check that out if you haven't, because it is crazy. You will 100% believe that Diddy is responsible. Now, Todd claims he didn't want to put his name on the book because it's a dangerous situation. He didn't want to claim ownership of Kim's words, but he said he's now willing to come forward because of Diddy's arrest.
So I did just get done reading the book, and my mind was like, the things that are in here. But you're right, she was not 20 when she met Diddy, so what's really going on? As far as all the other stuff, like, there's enough people name dropped, I feel, to be like, I want to sue for defamation. But because it was released under this, pseudonym, fake name, maybe that's why they wouldn't be able to anyway. I don't know if some of the things in the book were meant to throw people off, and if it was Kim's, words, like, I don't like the formatting of the book. I don't like how it was all over the place. But in the end, it says that there's going to be like a slow rollout for more.
I mean, the way she presents that, it does seem like a cash grab. And just because you change the name of the author doesn't mean you are excluded from defamation. They'll find the publisher company. They'll find the person who actually wrote it. I think that's more just to protect him publicly so people don't find him easily. Kim goes on to share that he hosted parties that were just a fancy name of group you-know-what. We not only had three-ways, but we also swapped partners. Our intimate life was crazy, but I got to do things with Sean I never would have been able to do with a straight man. She said she was sleeping with a well-known married man. One time I woke up and left the bedroom where I was. Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with a chart-topping rapper and the woman's husband. She said I was grateful I didn't ask to join that room, saying she didn't really like the rapper. Kim allegedly wrote that she and Diddy had an open relationship and that she regularly slept with Tupac Shakur, but I don't know if that's true. Kim's book claims that Diddy first hit her after she refused to use a strap-on on him. She wrote, I just can't stop thinking about that night. It was amazing. Can you screw me one more time, please? Diddy said, according to the book. I became infuriated, adding that Kim told Diddy to instead have intimacy with a male music executive she believed he was having an affair with. At that point, he got physical with her. This was the first time, but he slapped me hard before I could form words. He then began to beg, I'm sorry. In another incident in an apartment, she claims that he fiercely slammed her to the ground, pulled out a .22 handgun, and sat it on the end of the table. He knelt on one knee, got right in front of my face, and said, you're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you. Writing, he's a terrifying monster. Makes you feel so bad for Kim. She was probably so scared.
For those wondering about the tapes that supposedly Kim found, other than like freak off stuff, specifically with men, this book, alleged, I'm going to say everything's alleged, says it was JB, Usher, and Little Bow Wow. And allegedly, Kim and Diddy had threesomes with freaking JLo, with Jada Pinkett, with Will Smith, with Faith, with Jamie Foxx, like, well, that part made it seem like it was just him and Diddy, but the conversations about Biggie's mom coming up to him during dinner, and just, I hope she never reads this book, because everyone who's named in here, I feel like at least one person should be like, this is BS, or yeah, that happened.
Now, Todd claims that this information has been out there, and there are some people who have been trying to sell this book to Hollywood producers. He also claims the tapes are out there, and actually one tape of Diddy with a teenage pop star has been shopped to Hollywood studios by other parties. What the hell? Let's move on to another one of Diddy's favorites, Ashton Kutcher. The current wife of this former A-list, mostly television actor from multiple hit shows, have moved into a different property they own. She wants distance when the videos, including him, start to leak. That's really cryptic to read, especially after that last blind item about like the teenage like pop star and the book. It's like, gosh, imagine what videos he has of Ashton. Also, like, Diddy's so crazy for filming so much of this. Like, there's one thing of being like a crazy monster, but to like film it and to keep it and maintain it. I mean, technology has changed over the years. So has he like transferred the videos over time? This person commented, always got to be wary of the folks who create charities claiming to fight human trafficking. Another person writes, believe they have a guest house on their property and a beach house. Another person commented, poor Mila. She's about to wake up from a nightmare that's been lasting most of her life. Let's talk a little bit about this video clip that's being wiped from the internet of Ashton Kutcher on Hot Ones talking about Diddy's party, saying there's a lot that he can't tell. Ashton Kutcher's longtime friendship with Diddy has come under scrutiny amid the music mogul's ongoing legal woes. The actor appeared in Hot Ones in 2019, in which he was asked to shed light on Diddy's infamous parties. He goes on to say, I've got a lot I can't tell, with a smirk on his face. You could see Ashton spending a split second considering his words before adding that he can't tell that one either. So he's holding on to a lot of secrets.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote.
That one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them.
Feel like, well, we still have some time to go, you know, I can blow it here.
Okay. Feel free.
It's such an awkward segment.
Diddy party stories. Man, that was like some weird memory lane.
Diddy does appear to be pretty fluid when it comes to his, intimate life. And with how close Ashton Kutcher is to him in these crazy stories, I wonder what him and Ashton got into. One person commented, he's probably not laughing now. He's probably really nervous, especially if your wife is trying to flee the scene and the Danny Masterson stuff. Like this on top of that, it's really starting to pile up. Ashton's friendship started back in 2003 when he was hosting MTV. He said, we became fast friends. We used to hang out and watch football together. He just can't lose, which is scary. Here's a clip I found of Ashton partying it up with Diddy. It's insane to see those video clips. Like, imagine what happened later that day. In September 2023, Ashton resigned from his anti-trafficking organization, a charity he founded in 2009, after supporting Danny Masterson. It's crazy to think that the people who create these organizations literally are the ones that are causing the problem. It makes you question if they are trying to fix it or trying to cover it up even further. That wraps up our first part of our blind item breakdown today. Again, we've got a second part of more blind items. They're not going to be Diddy focused, it's going to be other hot topics. So I'm excited to give you guys that one and to give you two blind item breakdowns today. I mean, look at me over here feeding the children. Is that what they say? Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to it. I love just filming more content, and I saw we had so many this week. I'm like, you know what? Let's break it down into two. What do you guys think of that? Are you overwhelmed? I feel like you guys like the content. You guys like the videos. So thank you so much for supporting, and I'll see you in a couple hours.